Okay, Paduan by Dalza. This piece is really good fun. It's a little bit tricky, but it's worth it. The juice is worth the squeeze in this case. First tip is just the start. We've got this little upbeat, which I find if I play with my thumb, it sounds a little bit heavy. So I tend to play the first two notes with my two fingers. And I know that this is technically a little bit rude, but I find that you don't want to stress that upbeat. And it's much more effective for me. I've got a very heavy thumb. It's much more effective for me if the thumb lands on the downbeat of the first full bar. So I tend to play the start like that. This way I avoid any sort of slightly strange ambiguity as to where the first beat is, the first real beat is. My second tip is just bar 9 into 10. We've got these lovely florid scales, but they can get a little bit lost. I find the way that I play them, they sometimes sort of trail off a little bit at the end. So I would really like to encourage you to think about looking after the end of those phrases into the next chord, so the end of each bar. So if we take bar 9, make sure there's enough time to hear all of those notes before you start the next bar. I find with myself that I'm so keen to get to the next bar that sometimes they get a little bit lost. So make sure that you can really hear those phrases getting into the next bar and they're not sort of disappearing too much, because it's very much in the music for them to slightly trail off towards the next bar because they're descending. My third tip is just make these cadences a little bit punchy, because it's such a celebration at the point that you've got through these scales to arrive at such a nice, it's sort of strangely nicely voiced, these cadences. So take care of them. They're really nice. It's unusual to not have a really heavily voiced cadence. And I'm not saying really, really hit them or ignore all of the usual Renaissance style musicality that you might employ here. I'm just saying take some pride in them. They're very nice. Good. So I hope you enjoy this piece and let me know how you get on in the comments. And I'll see you tomorrow.